Okay, for today's rotary board, we're going to take a break from SNK and switch over to Data East, or good old Deco. And this is Midnight Resistance. Unfortunately, I haven't acquired Heavy Barrel yet, though I've got someone that's going to get me one soon. Fairly standard Data East hardware, really. Good old 68,000 Motorola CPU. Standard JAMA, plus the connectors for the rotary sticks. This is actually the US version. As I mentioned, I think before in one of the earlier ones of these, a lot of the rotary games are way more common in the US and are just cheaper. So yeah, this is actually the US version, meaning I don't have any paperwork or artwork or manuals whatsoever. Still a great game, and it was really cheap, so let me move the camera. Okay, interesting thing to note is that Midnight Resistance here actually uses a horizontal monitor. In fact, it's, as far as I know, the only game that uses the LS-30 Rotary Stick that is horizontal, which might be a bit of a hindrance if you want to make like a full-on dedicated rotary cab. So yeah, this is the US version, so you get the FBI warning and the game's fully in English. Normally I do prefer Japanese versions, but with a game like this, it's just, sometimes it's just not worth it. Because even if you can find the Japanese versions, they're really expensive, and this one's quite cheap. So here we have Midnight Resistance, which this is a game that when most people say it, they're like, oh my god, it's a Contra ripoff. And this is definitely Data East does Contra. It's definitely a Contra clone. But I don't really find that to be a bad thing, because this game is a hell of a lot of fun. It's actually pretty easy, too, as far as arcade games are concerned. So yeah, this is definitely a great one to have. And let's... Alright, let's... So this is an easier game. I love how this game starts with the music. Just running over guys. Do 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 do. So yeah, it's basically Contra with rotary controls, which is kind of neat because you can because it basically just locks your shooting direction, which is something later Contra games did by just holding a button down, but this works really nicely. So like, for example, you can aim up and crawl, or whatever you want to do. You also notice part of the screen is cut off. The game is slightly vertically stretched right now, which is something that... Ooh, lucky. Give me that. Which is, this monitor has pots on the back, which I can use to adjust the horizontal size. Or is it the vertical size? I can't remember. Which makes it more... Yeah, the superpower. Getting a superpower this early is going to make things go a lot quicker. But yeah, I can adjust this monitor, but it needs a very special... It needs a very tiny screwdriver that I just don't currently have in my toolbox, so... The top and bottom of the screen is slightly cut off, and the game's stretched slightly out of its proper proportions, but it doesn't really bother me so much in this game. But But yeah, so you can just... The fire is really fun to use with the stick. You just spin around. The background's open. The Sega Mega Drive Genesis port of this game was actually pretty decent. It lost a lot of color, but the game itself was pretty much intact. They did a decent job with the controls too. Yeah, how you're supposed to beat this boss is first you shoot down from the top, and then when you destroy it, you gotta come down here. But with the fire, I don't even have to... You just stay completely out of range. Whee! The Genesis port was also missing the two-player mode, if I remember correctly. Kind of like the background warping effect. Doesn't really serve much purpose, but... eh.
Pick a weapon.
Nothing good. Just give me more ammo.
Power up. Homing missile.
I think the Genesis version also doesn't have the voiceovers. And the music isn't quite as nice sounding. So yeah, like Heavy Barrel, you collect keys to pick what items you want. Come on, bitches. But yeah, this one is, I'd say, definitely one of the easier arcade games out there. But even then, it's not, I don't know, this is one of those games that most of it's quite easy, but then there'll be a few parts where you'll just kind of die over and over again, unless you know exactly what to do. Like here, if you don't know what's coming, you're probably gonna get killed here. Having the super fire definitely makes it a lot easier, though. Yeah, it was quick.
Pick a weapon.
No, no, no. Oh. I guess like more homing missiles. There's nothing else.
Homing missile.
Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. Love this track. Dun dun dun. 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 Ah, that was close. I screwed that up royally. Go homing missiles. Alright, coming up are the planes. This is the part I tend to screw up. I don't know why, it's not particularly hard, it just tend to always screw it up for some reason. Or at least get hit. Whew, that was... Like right here, I tend to die a lot, but they're not doing so badly today. Like right there. Gah! I'm gonna lose my supercharge.
Pick a weapon.
More ammo.
Power up.
Supercharge. Baby.
Super power up.
Bum bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. So yeah, this is a really enjoyable one, especially if you two players, because then you can pick different weapons to like cover each other. Just a really fun Contra game to play, and I mean, sure, it's a clone, but it plays great, nice graphics, and really, who doesn't want more Contra? Whee! Now, I'm gonna be a cheap bastard here. I love the fire weapon, but it's got one problem. It can't kill this guy. Well, it kinda can. But, to take out all the laser barriers, the problem is the ones at the top are out of range. I can only hit them if I jump, or if I actually climb up the ladder. Doing so, though, is almost certainly going to get me killed. It's because there isn't... Just because of the fact that his pattern is either is kind of randomized. This is probably one of the hardest parts of the game, at least with this weapon. You know, if you have like the spread fire, or the shotgun, or even the normal gun, he's then quite easy, because then you can just take him out. You can hang up at the top or the bottom and take him out pretty easily. But unfortunately, it's a bit impossible with this weapon, unless you get kind of lucky, or there is just a crazy pattern that I haven't been able to pick up on. So I'm gonna do the cheesy way and just let him time out. Yeah, there is a timer, and on the normal parts of the game, if the time runs out, a little crosshair will appear on your guy and just kill you. But with this guy, he will actually self-destruct with no penalty if you just sit around for a little bit. Kind of boring, I know, and kind of a cheesy way to play through it, but I literally can't hit it, and every time I've ever attempted, and you know, I'm an old man. I just don't have the skills anymore, or more like the time to waste learning. Come on, helicopter. There we go.
Pick a weapon.
What we got? Ooh, one up that's really expensive. I need ammo.
Power up.
And Yeah, give me the barrier.
Barrier.
So yeah, these gears are slightly ovalish because the screen is a bit stretched. But, need to get the proper screwdriver so I can make the game look perfect. Remember, I want to duck here. Yeah, I do. Spin, spin, spin. It's just incredibly satisfying to just spin your flamethrower around. Woohoo! And here's where the alien dude comes out, which you can't see the full text, unfortunately, but, grr. Yeah, if you've never seen the back of one of these monitors, the pots are there, but they're this really tiny little screwdriver, and it's really deep into the monitor, too. So you need a really thin one, which, yeah, I could easily get from the hardware store. Just been too busy to get out there, unfortunately, this week. And I really just felt like playing this tonight, so... Eh.
Pick a weapon.
Let's see, what do we got? Ooh, cheap ammo.
Power up.
Homing missile, what I want is nitro, but
Homing missile.
doesn't seem to want to give it to me today. We're almost at the end of the game, too. I wonder if I can actually pull off a live 1cc here. Probably not, but... all you gotta do is destroy the middle ones. You don't actually have to take out the side ones. Can make it slightly easier if you do, though. That was close. Goodbye, battleship. I mean, yeah, the game's pretty short and not particularly difficult. But yeah, I really do enjoy this one. This is definitely a great one to pick up if you ever end up with a rotary stick setup.
Pick a weapon.
Kind of a shame though, it's the only game of this format to actually use the ammo barrier. Give me the one up, why not? See if we can clear this sucker today. That was bad. I screwed that up.
Thank you, son.
Shower sucks. Take that. Another one.
Thanks, bro.
Arr, give me superpower.
Homing missile.
Sorry, Granny, I didn't get enough keys. Oh well, goodbye, Granny. This would be in this part was way easier with the supercharger. Damn you, random power-ups. Still. Careful here. Ah! Oh, come on! Oh. I was fairly lucky. Well, I have no ammo, but I got a bunch of lives. Can we do it? Shit. Go auto fire? No! Woohoo! Well, that was really sloppy. And I didn't save Granny, but, live 1cc, which I totally wasn't even attempting to do. As I said, yeah, it's not exactly the hardest game. especially for an arcade, but who cares? It's a lot of fun. Yeah. If you save everyone, Granny would be there too. But, just one dude. Tired. Can't save everyone. But anyway, yeah, so... I mean, part of that was because I got lucked out and got all those 1-ups, which definitely makes it easier, because I really did screw up towards the end there. But, there we go. A live 1cc of Midnight Resistance. Not what I was planning to do tonight, but, why not? So yeah, I like Data East, I like this game. And damn, I really want to get me a heavy barrel. But, got my buddy who's already thinks he's found one, which... Looking forward to that. And I can't really see the initial thing, so... Oops. That was the credits button. Just love this opening theme with the card. Dun, 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 dun. Look, I can spin. Whee! Dun, 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Alright, that's enough screwing around. Dun dun dun. Dun dun dun. And goodbye. Goodbye.